Hello, beautiful people. How are all of you doing today? Good morning! Hey, you guys want to hear something crazy? I actually went plus 0 cans since last stream. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Columbina gameplay leaks, and it's Columbina model on Varessa normal attack animations. That's funny. That's a good one. I like that. That's pretty funny. That's humorous. Are we done on with the artifact event? Yeah, we are. Oh, that's unfortunate. Then what? Now what? Now what, chat? I don't want to just farm fucking books today. That's so boring. Ah, I don't want to do that. Bro, that sounds so fun. We end stream. You know what? Usually I start stream like in the middle of the current chapter of whatever I'm reading, and then I finish the chapter, and then I like, you know, sit down and like start like actually like yapping. I mean, I was doing that, but then the chapter ended on a cliffhanger, so I read the next one too, and then that chapter ended on a cliffhanger too. So now I'm like, fuck, man. Maybe I should end stream and just go fucking finish my goddamn read. You know? Like, maybe I should. You're onto something. What are you reading? It's Slop. I don't remember the name. Okay, how many books do I have? Are you gonna be playing Gridmaster? I don't know. I'm starting to have a good amount of books, right? This is enough for what, 2? 2 characters-ish? I think we can take a break from books, then. Are you actually getting Nefer? I'm not sure yet.
Huh?
I am not sure yet. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep prepping these characters. If I do this, I can't play Varessa against it, so I kind of don't wanna. Could go for this because we're already halfway there. We already have enough for this. What do I have enough for this? I feel like I asked this question already, but I don't know. I don't know why. Okay, let's ascend Goro right now. Okay, why not? Oh. You can read the Genshin manga on stream? Well, couldn't that, like... Isn't that, like, a bad idea? Isn't that gonna get me banned? Because, like, honestly, I would be down. I would actually be down to do that. But I feel like it'd get me banned. It's free online? Maybe, then. That could be fun, actually. Alright. Goro is now IT ready. Who's next? Dory? Dory? Oh. I'm already most of the way there for Kirara, so I might as well do her then. Oh shit, that's cooked. Never mind.
Hurry up, Brassa!
Why the fuck is the, like, teleport and track option bringing me so far away at the start? That's fucking crazy. Okay, it's got... That's kinda not cool. That's like, well, why couldn't you have a cryo shield?
Hands where I can see 'em. Control breathing. Light of the blazing sun.
To the abyss!
Try and stop me.
Fuck!
Ow!
Nah, that's cooked, man.
Faster, stronger. Pyroclastic surge. Incinerate. Incinerate. Burn it down. Justice will prevail. Yeah, kapow!
Ah!
Quick as a flash. Final warning. Wrath from the skies. Headbutt. It's justice o'clock. Yeah. Oof. Hero incoming.
I don't want to talk about it, man. Whatever. At least we needed to do this one time. Alright, because this is enough. Who's next? Her? Him? 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 Her? We're already halfway there for her, so we could. What the fuck? Oh. Huh. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't really care about having Chi-Chi build, though. But, like, I don't care about having any of these built. I guess Sarah. Like, there's a chance I'll care about having Sarah built at some point. If I get her C6.
So nice and warm.
I really don't want to change my team.
On a full stomach to make me feel. Headbutt. Hands where I can see 'em. Let's pyroclastic surge. Incinerate. Incinerate. Light it up.
We didn't need to. We need to do this 2 more times. Name your channel points. Why?
Control breathing. Full throttle. Light of the blazing sun.
What would be the point? It looks good, but it's not that relevant. You know what? I need to use up some Night Soul to build up my Night Soul in Mawika.
You asked for it.
Oh,
Final war.
nice aim.
The flash. Wrath from the skies. Rev the engines.
Well, that's alright. No, that's alright. Ah.
Time to roll. Add ast. Thank you for
You still
Add
have a
us.
special place in my heart. Thank you for the 2 months! Huge! I've got some wishes I should use. Sarah. Y'all. Y'all. Alright. Okay, chat. Okay, chat. We gotta figure out what we do today. Presenting the superstar's birthday. Why is she calling herself a superstar? Like it's like she's not a fucking a Victorian like. Call yourself a virtuoso if you're gonna have ego. Don't be using fucking like modern lingo. Like that doesn't. No, stop it. You're not a superstar. Or like a genius, or like I don't know, man. But not superstar. Superstar feels like it's not a term that should be used by a fucking. I don't know. It just sounds wrong. She said it intentionally to rage bait me. Well, she got me. Fuck. She certainly got me. It's fine, you're a superstar too. Well, I think I have the makings of a superstar, more so than Farina, sure. But I wouldn't call myself a superstar. Alright. I think on this account we need books. We just need a fuck ton of books. As many books as possible. God, we have none, man. It's crazy. Please tell me it's not. Aww. I heckin' love electro-immune enemies.
Controlled breathing. Everybody stand but know my sword. Light of the blazing sun.
you all. Alright, now we can go back to FLINS. Why do you recommend it to be on attack, damage, crit, and effort team? I understand attack, why damage and crit? Because the reason why attack is better than HP for her damage is because, as a general rule, or for your team damage, is because as a general rule, you get a lot less value from like your direct stat scaling than you get from damage percent or crit. And the reason why you want attack, damage, crit is because, well, HP isn't good enough to be better than just attack for the resonance or for the ascending gleam effect, but damage and crit are. But it's like a 0.1% difference. It really doesn't fucking matter. Bro, you could have her on full defense and it would still be pretty similar.
Preparing for dust up. Animal test 6301.
Be silent. Observe. Be silent. Do you fear the dark?
Well, 3 times attack buff, never more, it will, but the buff from Ascending Gleam is like kind of pathetic. So yeah. Akaino, yeah, just put the deathmatch in the bag, little bro. If you're never using the big burst, you shouldn't use an ER weapon. If you don't have enough ER on your build, you can use Coward Spine. But you'd rather try to find more ER for your build than use Coward Spine.
To dust. Close your eyes. To dust.
Oh my god, I'm blooming. How much of damage increase is level 80 to 90 on FLINS? I have them ascended already, but I don't know if it's worth leveling. You're gonna see no difference whatsoever, basically, on your burst damage. But the lunar charge damage that you deal will be significantly higher.
Animal test 63.
Now, he does a lot more burst damage than lunar charge damage, so it's not like an insanely significant upgrade.
Be silent.
But it is, like, it is a bit better on him than it is on a traditional carry. It's not necessary, but it's worth doing at some point, at least. What about Nefer for the same point? Nefer gains literally no damage from level 80 to 90. Like, her Lunar Bloom reactions do not scale with level. They don't get affected by the defense multiplier. But also, her scaling stat is EM, and she doesn't gain more EM from leveling. Only from Ascension.
Close your eyes. Do you fear the dark?
Nefer is going to be the character in the game that loses the least from being kept at level 80. Which is fucking... You lose a bit more if you're using Kuki or another Electro because of the spread damage, but it's not really that big of a difference.
Add Astra. Thank you for Add Astra.
$80 but ascended? Yeah, you always want to ascend your characters, for sure. if you don't ascend her, you can't go higher than level 8 on her skill, and she loses ascension stat as well. Like, obviously that's gonna be pretty cooked. I have 8 days left to choose for this. Man. Who did I want to do next? Probably Jean, right? No. I haven't prepped Jean. I'll have to prep her. Dory then? Yeah. Dory sounds like a plan. Do I have green books? I do. Yes. Yeah!
This land holds nothing but promise for adventurers.
What does Dory even do? No. But we're already out of... We're not out of books yet, actually. Okay. We're out of money, though. This brings me to 4,000 Mora. Ah, shit. We're so cooked. How's my biddy here? 3 4-star biddy? Yeah, okay. GG. GG.
If the kids come over again today, I think I'll give them these toys.
Ah. Alright. What day of the week are we? We're Monday, right? That means this is Reputation Day. We can get a bit of more back from that. Next thing onslaught on Dire between the horse and the Lightkeeper guy. Is it easier to get a clear with non-lunar on the horse and lunar DPS to Nodcrow on the Lightkeeper? It's gonna depend. It's gonna depend on who you have. Like, the horse will be pretty easy to do with, like, melt teams if you got the right setups for it.
When I hand this work over.
Immune to cryo, no problem. Peaches, I hope I have those. Roses, I hope I have those. Apples, I definitely have those. I'm going Sherling, Mawika, Eon San, and ER Ayaka for the horse based. Okay, please tell me I have the peaches. Thank goodness. Is FLINS post-release done? No. No, we just not. We'd be procrastinating on it? And then we will be skipping it altogether because it'll be too late and I won't feel like doing it anymore. That's the listening to Zajef title experience. Please tell me I have roses. I don't want to have to make my way back here again. Thank goodness. What do I want to do? Right. I gotta go to Yavanani. Damn. You guys really want to skip this song, huh? Fine. No way it worked. It did. Man of my word. I redeemed 80k to skip Killer Queen, by the way. Can I get a refund? No. You got scammed, buddy. You know, it's kind of crazy to me. Because, like, I basically never do, like, channel point bets. And 20,000 channel points is a lot. It's kind of crazy to me that someone would just, like, throw that away for no reason. I mean, it's not like they're gonna do anything, but, like, still. It's kind of crazy. I have 900k sitting around. How? How do you have that many points? Even what the fuck are you guys doing with your life? Like, I don't know. Go read a book. I don't. Like, what are you doing? Oh, why is it invulnerable to Electro? Oh my god, I can make biryani. Chat, I had some biryani, yeah, like 2 or 3 days ago. And it was so bad, man. I used to order from this place that didn't even have an Indian name, but it was Indian food. It was like bistro something. I don't know why. Anyway, and it had like the best Indian food around here. And it fucking closed down. It's probably because of the name, honestly. I don't think anyone knew it was an Indian place. Anyways. It fucking closed down. And I was like, alright, well fuck, I feel like having some biryani today, so I mean I'll order from somewhere else. And I did! And it was fucking god awful, man! It was so bad! I got scammed? I did get scammed. I was like, I need to find a new Indian place. I need to find a place that has a good biryani. Please stop pronouncing it like that. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. I'm sorry. You like Indian food? Who doesn't like Indian food, man? Oh, I hate spices and flavors. My name's Steve.
Mission mode.
Like who doesn't like Indian food? Like actually. I get biryani for $1.50 in India almost every other day. That's crazy, bro. Here it's like 20 bucks. Yeah, this is gonna be a little cooked. This too. I spend 20 bucks for like 3 to 4 days of food. I mean, if I don't go to a restaurant, it doesn't cost me $20 for a meal. But like $20 biryani has to be life-changing. Bro, that fucking dog shit biryani I had a few days ago was so bad. And it was 20 bucks. It was 20 bucks, man. Actually, I ordered it. So it was 20 bucks plus like $7 in like weird fees, plus like $5 of taxes, plus like $10 of delivery fees. So it was actually like 40 bucks, not 20. Anyways, move to India now. I don't know. Maybe if I lived in the US, I'd consider it. But living in Canada is pretty chill. Speaking of living in Canada, bro, I don't know how real it was, but it was on my timeline yesterday, and I was like, what the fuck? The post about supposedly Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry dating, and I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? What? What? The whole, huh? It's real, bro. Huh? How old are they actually? Katy Perry, age 40. Justin Trudeau, age 53. He's younger than I thought, actually. That's not as unreasonable as I thought it was. Reasonable age, yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I wonder how it feels when you're way older. Cause like right now, right? Like I'm 25, and it is like impossible for me to even fathom wanting to date someone who's like below 22. Like, someone tells me they're 21 years old, I'm like, oh, okay, you're a child. I wonder if how it'll feel when I get older. Will that, like, mental barrier go up with me? Or will it stay there? I don't know. You do a lot of growing up between 20 and 30. I will say, I feel like I did most of my growing up between like 19 and 22, maybe 23. And I feel like I haven't really grown up that much since then. I grew a lot from 25 to current age redacted. Alright, Unk. I'm sure you did. Let's get you to bed. It's already 9 a.m. Isn't it a little late for you? Are you getting a little... Aren't you starting to doze off right now? People who say you look older weren't there for the beardless arc. Should I do another beardless arc? Like, sometimes I wonder. Do I actually look better with a beard? Or am I just used to it? I don't know, honestly. Do a mustache arc. I don't like mustaches. So I don't know. Holy fuck, yeah. That's actually straight up 50-50. Looks exactly tied. Swap facial hair with Zajef for charity? I mean, I'd be down, but I don't think he's physically able to grow a beard.
People ought not be so frightened of ghosts.
So I don't think that's gonna work.
Chattering away endlessly about their past affairs.
I'm 23, married, and have a daughter. You know, I hear that and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, to me, the idea of getting... Okay, just by default, the idea of getting married is kind of like whatever to me. But getting married at 23 is like... What does the path of your life look like for that to happen? Like, do you... How are you making decisions at, like... I mean, you are married with a child at 23, so you probably got married at, like, 21 or some shit. How are you making permanent life well, permanent. Semi-permanent life decisions right after you turn 20? I'm happily married. Oh, I'm not saying that it was a bad decision. It's just unfathomable to me. Like, being in your early 20s and feeling strongly enough about a major decision like that to send it. So, well, yeah. When I said semi-permanent, I was talking about the marriage, not the child. Okay, I'm not implying the child is permanent. Yes, you're right. That's not the part. That's not the part. That's not. That's.
Modicum of patience for the richness and complexity.
You got me, man.
The wanton cruelty of the few is not.
Well, I mean, technically they won't permanently be a child. But like, Alice giggling right now. Oh, that's crazy. But also just having a child at 23 is kind of crazy to me. I'd be way too worried about shit. I guess if you've got generational wealth, then it is what it is, but like, to me, the idea of like having a child that young is like, what do you do if you're like the company you work at goes under? Like you're kind of fucking cooked or some shit. Now, how are you gonna take care of a child? Like that's fucking insane. I would not be able to deal with that. I'd be way too stressed out. Like in this economy, having a child at 23, that is crazy. And by the way, I'm not like dismissing your decision. I'm just expressing my, I don't know what emotion it is. It's like a mix of surprise, admiration, doubt, and worry. And yeah, there's fascination in there as well. That's true. A bit of curiosity too. Yeah, sure. Because people don't go to school or college, start working in their 18s. They're 5 years in getting money. I mean, I don't know about saying these people, about one chatter who said something like that. Like, I think you're being a little weird about it. I think it would be much more acceptable to say some people. But we're gonna pretend like he said some people and talk about that. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, man. Like, I guess if you land a solid job that like pays well without requiring higher education as soon as you turn into an adult,
People ought not be so frightened.
and you start generating good
They
income,
are merely talking shadow.
I guess it is possible to, like, even without generational wealth,
Of past affairs.
have a solid framework for your finances at 23. But like that's like admirable, right? Like if that's you, like fucking congrats, bro. Like you're the goat. You're actually the goat. You can make decent money really grinding physical labor jobs that don't recommend health is more important than wealth. That's an interesting one. Like I worked a bit of construction as a summer job. It was in between Zajef and university. Zajef is like, it's something in Quebec which is like basically in between high school and university. Our high school in Quebec is 1 year shorter, and our bachelor's degrees in Quebec universities are also 1 year shorter. And those 2 years taken from either side are put into a separate institution called Zajef, which is, it's basically like generalized education with a direction, right? So like, you're not gonna do your Zajef in like biology, but you'll do it in like natural sciences. You're not gonna do it in psychology, but you'll do it in human sciences. And there's also some like some training. They call them technique, I don't know, whatever. Programs where it's not intended as a gateway to higher education. It's intended as like actual training for jobs that don't require education. Yeah, kind of like vocational school, I think. Is that what vocational school is? I'm not sure. Sounds like high school. It's similar, because it's like in your first year of university, the classes you take are very generalized, right? And the stuff you learn in your last year of high school is also generally a lot more specialized than the rest of high school. So in Quebec, they just put those 2 years together in a separate institution. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying, I was working a construction job. I think it was in between Zajef and university, and like, you do make pretty good money in those manual jobs, but like, it's rough. Were your hours kind of, yeah, my hours were fucked.
He who wishes to peer into the abyss needs simply to
Like, unironically, my pay wasn't even very good.
The march of the wild hunt will be.
Alright, it was a sus fucking job, okay? Like, borderline under the table. They weren't very, like, yeah. It wasn't actually under the table, but, like, there were a lot of things that, like, let's just say, the guy responsible for accounting at that company was very good at his job. Let's just put it that way. let's just put it that way. a lot of loopholes being explored. Anyway, anyways, if he could have gotten away with like minimum wage, he would have paid minimum wage. But thankfully, because it was a company that was working in both Quebec and Ontario, the minimum wage had to be the higher of the two. And at the time, the minimum wage in Quebec was, I think, $10.50 an hour, and in Ontario was $15 an hour. Imagine having $15 minimum wage. I mean, you need to understand this is Canadian dollars, right? Like if your boss paid you in Monopoly dollars, they could be paying you $1 million an hour, and it wouldn't be very helpful. Okay?
The richness and complexity of humanity. The wanton cruelty of the few is not worth our ire.
Anyways, I was. How much is 15 Canadian? I think the Canadian dollar is not as bad right now. If we look at 5-year, yeah, it fucking tanked in late 2024.
He who wishes to
I guess it's kind of bad right now, actually.
wander through Nodcry on
There's 15 Canadian is 10 USD, basically.
the march of the wild hunt.
11. $10.70 right now.
Darkness.
I don't know what the minimum wage is now, actually. Minimum wage Quebec. Oh my fucking... It's $16.10 now? That's crazy. $12.90 if you're a waiter. Because tip-based pay has a lower minimum wage. Because... because minimum wage sucks, but whatever. Ontario, it's $17.60. Yeah, it's increased a lot less, but it was a lot higher at the time. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Getting back to what I was saying, right? I was getting paid $15 an hour because the company worked in both Quebec and Ontario, so they kind of had to abide by both labor laws. But, like, it's less about the pay and more about the available hours.
Complexity of humanity.
You work so much in those jobs. Like, you work so fucking much. I was doing, like, 70, 80-hour weeks. That shit was insane. Is that even legal? That's what I'm saying about the accountant being pretty good at his job. It was very... yeah. We were technically subcontractors, not employees, so they didn't have to pay overtime. It was sus, okay? It was sus as fuck. But it is what it is, man. Classic, yeah, that is the classic construction job. Like, being classified a subcontractor instead of an employee so they don't have to actually abide by proper labor laws. That is a construction classic. Not just construction, but I feel like in manual labor it's like a lot more prevalent because people that work those jobs tend to be less educated. So the people that like manage those sites just take advantage of them. It's fucked up, but that's how it is. Me and my $20 a month in Syria as a resident doctor, lol. Jesus Christ. I mean, at the end of the day, pay is contextualized by cost of living. I don't know how this cost of living is in Syria, but if a resident doctor was making $20 a, what was it, $20 a month, I sure fucking hope you can live off of that. But like here, $20 a month, you're completely cooked, right? My apartment is $1,260 a month rent, and it's a like reasonable price for a 2-bedroom. Here. What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah. You have a roommate? No, I use a 2nd bedroom as my office. It's reasonable for Canada, yeah. Yeah, for Americans in chat, it's 1260 Canadian, which is, I don't want to do mental math. 1260 CAD to USD. It's 900 USD. 8.99 on the dot. For a 2-bedroom, that's like pretty decent here. The reason it's like that, there is a good reason. My area is not a good area. It's like a very... I'm basically like right in the middle between the like area where all the bars are and the poorest area in this in the cities around. Don't doss yourself. This is vague enough that like it is what it is. But yeah. That's why I can get away with only 1260 for a 2-bedroom. If I wanted to be in like... I mean, if I was back in university and I wanted to be living close to the university in downtown Ottawa, it would be like... For something like this, probably $2,500 a month. And if I were to go... If I were to try to get something like this out in the fucking... like, forest, I could probably get it down to, like, $900 a month, maybe? Yeah. Are we rent min-maxing? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Western countries' rent is so absurd, yeah. But yeah, if I was getting paid $20 a month as a resident doctor here, I'd fucking die. Yeah, like if you okay, like you said that as a joke, but if I actually was a rent min-maxer, the problem is my lifestyle doesn't allow me to rent min-max because living alone is inherently not something that you can do cheap. And I know that as a streamer, living with someone else who has a regular job with my, like, schedule and how fucking cooked it is would be miserable for them. And I don't want to do that to someone else. Unless it's Nick. The thing is, Nick is fucking rich, man. Like, I would be down to save money by living with Nick, but he doesn't need to. So why would he? Right? Like, it's not something he'd ever need to do. The LeBron James of Genshin, true. I was with Nick and other creators. I don't know, man. Like, I'm pretty satisfied with my lifestyle. I do kind of like living alone. It's chill. I'm a very lazy person, and I let the dishes pile up very often. And I know it would bother. I mean, it has bothered roommates of mine in the past. Just use a dishwasher? I don't own a dishwasher. No, having a dishwasher is cooked, yeah. Get a wife? See, if you'd said that before we talked about the dishwasher, I feel like that could have been a funny joke. And I think it's very possible you typed that before we talked about dishwashers. But I feel like timing kind of. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one, Chief. It's still funny. You know, I used to think that ironically saying sexist things was funny, right? I was like, haha, I fucking hate women. And the joke was like, this is a ridiculous thing to say. Obviously, I don't. Isn't it funny how there's people that actually believe this? And like that was the joke. And that's why I thought it was funny. When you were a dumb 14-year-old. No, because it wasn't about, like... It wasn't edgy humor for the sake of being edgy. It was saying something that I didn't mean to make fun of the people that actually believe it, which is a different thing, right? Like, people that do edgy humor aren't making fun of people that actually believe those things, right? Like, it is a different thing. That's why, at the time, I was okay with it. But with time, I realized that... Yeah, like, what the chatter said earlier, or what the chatter just said, ironic sexism is only funny when it's absurd. Like, aha, imagine breathing classic women is funny. Yeah, that's true. I agree. My thought process at the time was... saying women belong in the kitchen is such a stupid thing to say that it's obviously absurd when I say it, and the person I'm speaking to will understand that. Because they know me. right? But eventually I kind of realized, yeah, no, there's too many people that unironically believe that for that message to properly get across. Unless it's someone I know very, very, very well. But even then, it kind of just stopped being funny. To me, at least. It was never funny. I mean, I get that. Like, I get that, and I'm not trying to say, like, especially if you are someone who's, like, on the receiving end of that type of shit, I'm not saying you need to be okay with it. Right? I don't think it's something that's objectively, inherently impossible to be funny. But I think it's very reasonable for someone to not find it funny. And for someone to actually get upset at it. Funny is too subjective of a concept. Something can be funny and also not okay to say. That's true, but I think when you get older, you kind of realize that the purpose of being funny is to have a good time. And when people aren't having a good time when you're trying to be funny, you're not being funny. I don't think you can entirely detach the concept of something being funny or not from the way it's received. I haven't decided if I'm going for Nefer Skimoraba. Even if I do decide, I'll probably change my mind. I made these types of jokes when people who agree with me and are on the left, but not when people in my presence actually believe these things. Yeah, like... Let me lay out a scenario for you, okay? I find it funny, I'm gonna say it. Well, you find what funny? Because there hasn't been a joke in the past, like, 10 minutes. So if you're saying, I find it funny, you're saying that, well, there hasn't been a joke, so you're not talking about anything that was actually said, and so what you find funny is the concept of saying things that are mean to people. Because that's really what we're talking about right now. And I think I think at that point, like, yeah, no, you should be sorry, you should feel bad about that. If you derive humor from making people upset, rather than any sort of actual joke being said, then yeah, you're an asshole, and I think the world would be better off if you changed your ways and became a better person. I do think there are jokes that make people upset that can be funny. I think the Bernie women be shopping meme perfectly straddles the line. The thing with things like that is it's always going to be dependent on context, right? Like, even okay. Let's lower the stakes a little bit, okay? Let's talk about Ziox being short for a second. So, the reason why it's even funny at all to call him short is because he's not really short, and he's not really self-conscious about his height. If he was, like, even just average height, or slightly below average height, if it was like 5'7", I wouldn't make a bit out of calling him short. Because honestly, it would just be really shitty. Like, maybe as an offhand, depending on the context. But, like, personally, when people make a joke about Fob being short, I don't really find it funny. It has nothing to do with how he reacts to it or anything like that. I just don't think it's funny. Yeah, like, insulting jokes, to me, derive their humor from being inaccurate. To be fair, I don't know how I feel about this Lyox balding thing. yeah. Because, like, he's not really balding. But he does have thin hair. You know, I should actually ask him if he's actually bothered by it. I thought he was. He's not balding. He just, like, jokes aside, he just has, like, very thin hair. So, from certain angles, it kind of looks like he's balding. Is his dad bald? Huh. I feel like I kind of got strung along by how people made it a thing for the Ziox balding thing. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, is this actually funny? Or am I just like repeating something and deriving humor from the repetition? I don't know, actually. The more I think about it, the more I think it's not actually that funny. Male pattern baldness happens to all men. It's not something you should be ashamed of. I mean, I don't think it would be about being ashamed. It would be about being embarrassed. Like, even if you're not ashamed of something, it can be bothersome to have people point it out. And embarrassing. Like, I don't know about that take. Why? Well, shame implies that, like, you don't want people to know about it. But, like, I don't know. It takes many people years to accept that they're bald and they should just rock it. Yeah, when I start, like, my hairline is definitely receding, like, especially here, right? Like, it's yeah. It's not ideal, which is why I have my hair like this. Once it gets too bad, I'll just go bald. Once I can't really hide it anymore, I'll just go bald. What would you feel embarrassed about something that objectively doesn't matter? But, like, what do you mean objectively doesn't matter? If you're saying objectively doesn't matter because looks objectively don't matter, like, it's not that it objectively doesn't matter, it's that there's no objective standard for it. But objectively doesn't matter is different from doesn't objectively matter, right? Something that objectively doesn't matter is something that doesn't matter objectively so. Something that doesn't objectively matter is something that matters subjectively. Being embarrassed about something that you don't like about yourself is very normal. And as much as I think that body positivity should be encouraged, I also don't think it should be encouraged to the point of making people feel bad about having insecurities. It's very normal to have insecurities and to dislike certain things about yourself. Rare Zajef W takes day. Why are you saying rare as if that wasn't literally every day? You spend your life as a Zajef viewer. You spend your days drowning in good takes. You know what? You've only been following for a month. 555 messages in a month. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good. Like, well done. Okay. I guess for you it's still rare because it doesn't happen that often, right? It's only been 30 days of good takes. But don't you worry. There's a lot more in store for you. We like your social commentary takes, but the character takes are sometimes sus, man. I would, by the way, I like hearing that so much more than the opposite. When I see people, especially, cause it doesn't really happen on Twitch, but in the YouTube comments it does. Especially in the Zajef Daily YouTube comments. When I see people saying, like, yeah, Zajef knows what he's talking about as long as he's not talking about politics, I'm like, I don't want you around. I don't want to interact with you. Stay away from me. Oh boy. Please and thank you. What even are your politics? I'm not politically active enough to really call myself anything. Not because I don't feel strongly about the things I believe in, just because I'm a lazy piece of shit who's not gonna put in effort to actualize my beliefs all that much. But I'm pretty heavily left-wing leaning. Is there a single Canadian that isn't left-wing? I mean, there's a lot. That's why PP almost won. Alright. As a Canadian, it's difficult to truly hate Trump because Trump's, I guess we can call them antics, although that's kind of downplaying it, but for the sake of this point, it makes sense to call them antics. Trump's antics are the reason why a lot of people ended up changing their mind and not voting for PP. Because they realized, oh shit, we don't want this here too. PP, Pierre Poilievre. He's the conservative. I don't know if he still is, actually. But he was a conservative representative. Trump is accidentally destroying Western hegemony. Is that how you say that word? Which is a nice side effect. That's kind of true, actually. Trump is still a threat to Canada and the world in general. That's fair. But if he makes Canada the 51st state of the US, that's not gonna happen. Well, I suppose what I should say is that's not gonna happen this term. If he completely destroys the framework of democracy in the US and manages to stay in power after this term, maybe. Then I'll get worried. Maybe I'll move to Iceland, man. Isn't there a limit 2 terms? Yes. But if you control every part of the government, you can just change that. There's a lot of anti-constitutional shit you can do if you just bribe the Supreme Justices. You know? That's kind of unlikely. I also think it's unlikely. But I don't think it's entirely impossible. Oh, thank you, the mute lurker. You can come to Poland? Isn't Poland, like, Omega cooked right now? Didn't Poland just elect, like, the fucking... They're anti-immigration? The thing about anti-immigration is that usually conservative anti-immigration isn't actually anti-immigration, it's anti-non-white people. I don't think it would be difficult for me to actually move to Poland if I wanted to. I don't want to. But, yeah. Anti-immigration is good. Basically, Russia went out of their way to ship people to the European border. Wild shit. I guess that's fair. I didn't think about it that way. I kind of forgot about the whole Russia thing, but my bad. Yeah, I guess anti-immigration right now, especially in the eastern parts of Europe, is probably more than just racism. There's that doesn't mean it's not racism, don't get me wrong. But it's probably not just racism. Please don't call Poland Eastern Europe, sorry. The part of Europe that is east of center. Because it's not about being any sort of monolith with other Eastern European countries, it's about proximity to Russia. For the sake of this discussion. I think you'd like Scotland and Ireland. I don't know. If I were to move somewhere, I think it would 100% just be Iceland. Well, I say that, but I don't know how easy it would be. Why? I mean, there's a few reasons. The big reason against is global warming. I'm scared that Iceland will be under the sea in 30 years. But, like, if I was to actually consider, like, truly consider moving to Iceland, I'd actually look up if that's a thing that could actually happen. But the main reason why I would want to move to Iceland is, one, it's one of the few countries that I've actually visited before, and I really liked it. Two, politically, Iceland is kind of the GOAT. Three, their language sounds cool as shit. I would love to learn Icelandic. 100%. It's one of the few languages that I would actually be, like, motivated to learn if I moved there. It would take you 30 years? I don't think so. It's one of the hardest languages. Yeah, but like I said, learning a language is like 50% actually learning it and 50% wanting to. If you just want to learn it, okay, someone who really wants to learn, like, Mandarin will be able to learn Mandarin much faster than someone who kind of wants to learn English. Does not apply to everything? It does. I think Icelandic is the probably second, the language that would be the second easiest for me to learn, maybe third. I think Spanish and Italian, because of my base in French, would be so easy that it would actually trump the amount of motivation I'd have for Icelandic. How many languages do you speak? I only speak 2. I used to be able to, like, speak Spanish to the point of, like tourist level, right? Like, being able to, like, ask for directions, say hi, good morning, all that shit, and like order and stuff like that. Because I took Spanish classes in elementary school, but it's a long time ago, so I forgot most of it. Portuguese is actually okay if you... Yeah, I guess Portuguese too. Chat, I'm gonna be honest, okay? And this is actually one of my major flaws as a person, okay? So I understand if you stop watching me because of this. I very often group Spanish and Portuguese together in my head. To me, they sound the same, and they're kind of just the same language. And I know they're not, okay? Like, rationally, I know, but emotionally, I can't get there. Okay? I'm sorry, all Brazilians in chat. Average American. I'm Canadian! My first language is French! Oh. It's just wrong. I'm not saying this is an accurate statement. I'm saying that's how it feels. Even though I know it's wrong. Like, if someone were to speak to me in one of those two languages and ask me which language that was, I'd flip a coin. Straight up, I would not be... Well, that's not necessarily true. If they use very common words, maybe I'd be able to recognize some Spanish words. But maybe I'd get fucking gaslit the other way around because they do share some words. Dutch and German, would you know the difference? I think so. They don't sound the same at all. I find Dutch and German way more similar than Portuguese and Spanish, really. Huh. Would you be able to tell Russian and Polish apart? I don't know, actually. I think so, but I'm not confident that I'd be able to. I mean, written down, it would be very easy. It's really easy to tell when something is Polish when it's written down. You just count the like accents on letters and the amount of times that there's like 3 or 4 consonants after one another. And if it's high enough, it's Polish. Okay, actually, I want to talk about this because it's something I noticed lately. Is there like a big Polish-speaking manhwa fan base? Because I feel like whenever I'm on manga decks looking for shit to read, and I click on something that like looks interesting, there's always a fucking Polish translation. Like always, man. Like always. Like, I feel like I see Polish translations more often than English translations. It's kind of crazy. What's the best site to read manga and manhwa? Depends on whether you have an ad block or not. If you have an ad block, Bateau is really good. If you don't have an ad block, it is impossible to navigate, man. And you cannot open that website without ad block in a public space. You will get arrested. Bro, like, it is, yeah. Yeah. It's like bad. I did the Hisi Island World Quest yesterday, and you low-key clock the Frost Moon Silence early on. They were batshit crazy back in the day. I mean, of course I did, Arnold! I don't have bad lore takes, okay? Sure, there's some things I don't know, but when I have an opinion about things I do know, it's always right. It's always true. Favorite part of Arnold's stream last night? Oh no, you upload your VODs, right? Maybe I'll watch you going through that quest. I kind of skipped through the quest. Murder of Birds Impact. On my VOD channel. What is your VOD channel called? Actually, it's probably here. No. Home. Arnold, I feel like you should change your profile picture. You look like a whole ass different person in this, man. Also, do you not have a link to your VOD channel on your main channel? Maybe in playlists? Can you make a playlist on your channel using videos from other channels? Is that a thing you can do? I don't know. It's Murder of Birds VOD. Okay, and it's Honkai Star Rail. Are they do you upload them unlisted? Or are they lives? Oh, they're okay, it's just lives, I see. Do you dual stream? Oh. You started at the start of the stream? Oh my god. Is that actually 9 hours? Oh boy. I'll go on my other account, my personal account, and I'll add it to my watch later. Real quick. I want to dox myself, though. How do you add to watch later? Whatever, I'll just like it. It'll be in my liked. Because I am kind of curious. Chat, I think this is going to be the first time in like 4 years that I watch Genshin Impact videos off stream. Oh, chat, also, I've seen this pop up on Twitter. should we watch it? Watch it, please. Alright. Ice cooler. Is he actually like... Okay, I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch it then. Oh. This was my follow-up tweet. Subatomic particle technology. Oh. Don't know what that's all about. Religious cult ideology, yeah. Gene splicing eugenics. Huh. Silver moon blood genocide. Feigns. That's in this quest? Bro, that's crazy. Shiokoadol? Who is that? Is that someone I'm supposed to know? Probably, right? Nalgar World Quests are already pushing the limits of what we thought was possible into that. That's wild. Pyro Dragon Sovereign. Oh, I see. Yeah. Because I was like, I feel like I've heard this name before, but I don't place it. Okay, that makes sense. I don't think genocide is really a new concept. That's crazy. Oh. That is a crazy response. I mean, it's not wrong. But, yeah. How do you get Moonweaver's Dawn? You can get one copy of it from doing that quest. Talks about you at 7 hours. Alright, I guess I'll get around to that in like 3 days or something. Just don't ask about refining it? Yeah. Yeah. Where? Chai, you know what I should do? This is like completely unrelated. Like, like biggest like pivot you've ever seen. Okay, completely unrelated. I should make a video talking about the elemental interactions that don't really do anything right now.
Relax. It takes more than a little rainfall to extinguish my lamp.
Because there's a lot of stuff about reactions that is cool, but that no character takes advantage of, and that I actually expect some of the lunar reactions to interact with in some way, shape, or form. So I kind of want to talk about some of it. Anything but the FLINS post-release? Yeah. So it's about TCing Rhinegrass? I don't think there's much of a point. I mean, I'd love for Genshin to prove me wrong by doing shit like that, but I kind of just don't expect Rhinegrass to ever be a thing. You think there'll be a lunar reaction for all the current reactions with Hydro? Wasn't there a leak that said that they'll do all the reactions except Vaporize? You brought lunar reactions on yourself with self. That is a good question, actually. Let's check.
All right, let's go.
It didn't say anything, so I'm not sure. What's an enemy that's close to a waypoint that hits with Hydro, but where the area isn't Hydro, so it can't be Tolpo or Oceanid? Maybe the Vivian? Or was it Ninian? I don't remember which one was which. Wait, am I in the wrong place? I think I'm in the wrong place. Or not? No. No, it's not. Also have this just in case. And let's give him energy recharge. Things are going to be a little sus otherwise. Chat, where is she again? Oh, was it here? I think it was here, actually. Yeah, you guys are just throwing your talent points at nothing. I'm not skipping this song. Yeah, it was here. Okay. That's Electro Charge. So no, you can't proc it on yourself. That's interesting. That is interesting. Is it, or I guess it's not that you can't trigger it on yourself. Is that it doesn't count as a party member triggering Electro Charge when enemies do it on you. Oh, right. I forgot about that. I got hit. That one was a skill issue.
Keep back. Accelerate.
Okay. And then if I go in a place that has water and I apply Electro to myself, I don't have this waypoint. Let's just go to shore or some shit. Can you proc it on your weapon? That's a good question. Also, I kind of forgot, but I guess I can just look at whether it creates a cloud or not, huh? Right? Because if you trigger Lunar Charge, it'll generate a cloud. We can just look at whether we generate a cloud or not. Here, I think it just doesn't generate a reaction when you do this. Yeah, maybe if we have Barbara.
We can do this.
That was not it. I don't know.
Let the show be.
Yeah, I guess this just doesn't trigger a reaction. That's weird. That's really weird. What about with Dory? Electrocharge can't be a self-reaction? Is that so? It kind of appears that's the case. Huh. I didn't know about that. Huh. I didn't know about that, actually. Interesting. Okay, then what if... Well, I guess I can stick to this, right? What if I have both auras on me after I electrocharge? I did lunar charge myself. Okay. Interesting. So, you can't trigger a reaction on yourself with electrocharge, but lunar charge doesn't deal damage upon being triggered. It deals damage when the cloud hits. The cloud, after you trigger lunar charge, hits enemies that are affected by Hydro and Electro every 2 seconds. And if you're affected by Hydro and Electro, the cloud can target you. Now, what I need is I need to figure out if there's a sort of,
Keep your distance.
of like, self-damage multiplier. It seems like it's always 70. It's just straight up 70. Why is it exactly 70 every time? I guess it's because it only looks at enemies that are at things that applied. Is there a place in the game where an electro enemy is next to water? Probably, right? Oh, actually, I know one place. I know one place where an electro enemy is right next to some water. I know a place. I don't want to go there, but I know a place. Is there another place? Maybe an Electro Stone? We need to have an enemy nearby to trigger the reaction, though. Biblical Idol, that's an amazing one. Thank you. Where is he again? Wait, that's not. There it is. Where was he again? From this waypoint? What direction? Left? North? Bottom right from the Morale line. That's not true. Leftmost TP to the right. From this? Leftmost no. How can it be leftmost to the right? I'm confused. That's not to the right. But everyone's saying yes, so I'm gonna guess that I somehow stumbled into the right one. Oh, like go to the right after. I see. I understand what you were asking me to do now. I need Dory on the team for this. No, I don't. Because I want to see what happens when... Yeah, okay. Wait, that's physical. Ah, shit!
You'll sorely regret that.
I kind of forgot he does that much damage, actually. This may be a problem. This might be a problem. Because I can't shield it, because I want to look at how much damage we take. So I need to let myself get hit by something. Oh, he does it 5 times in Overworld, I forgot. Okay. Wait, but I don't have the thing anymore. It's not hitting me with Electro. What?
Let's dance.
Are the attacks in this form not Electro? What's going on? Or is it 0.5 U? You didn't have Electro on you? I let myself get hit by his Electro attack. So I should have had Electro on me. You have to apply yourself for it to target you? No, because I didn't get Electro Aura on me. Right, so for right now, I'm not trying to figure out any sort of damage. I'm trying to understand why I didn't get the Aura on me at all.
Observe.
Whatever.
Close your eyes.
Oh my god, I forgot how fucking tanky his ass is.
Ready, steady, go!
Observe.
Ow.
12. 12. 12 on a crit. How?
Be silent.
I don't get it. So I got Hydro on me from the enemy, or from the water, and Electro on me from the enemy, and it did 12 damage. And it looked like the crit font. So it would have been 8 if it didn't crit, assuming... Or maybe it didn't crit, maybe it was 12. Why is it so small? Is it because enemies have a different multiplier for the way their elements are accounted for? Is it because there's actually a hidden, like, 12 base damage? Is it because the water has a level? We might be onto something with the water having a level, actually. Because Lunar Charged Genshin, if the base damage for Lunar Charge at level 1 is 8, I think we found level 1 water. This page does not have or lunar charged on it. Yeah. No, it's 1.8 times the level multiplier, supposedly. And the level multiplier at level 1.
He who wishes to peer into the abyss needs simply to wander through Nodcry on a misty night. The march of the wild
It's 17.
is sure to drag him into the dark.
So I don't think we're onto something. Just lunar charge myself using Barbara and an electro crystal